see what is inside this tuff bulb, this tuff LED bulb, what is inside. Now you can see this tough bulb, tough LED bulb. So there's no anything written on. Instead, there are tough company. There's no voltage written or no current, no watt or no frequency which is operated. So that's why I am. See, sure there are different. Phalia voltage is 2. Phalia Pakistan voltage is 220 volt and 50 hertz. So it is work with Phalia easily or Pakistan. So that's why I am sure it is worth 220 volt 50 hertz and maybe 25 watt, I don't know, as it is a tough company. Now open it. All we need to do is just take this one screwdriver and remove the screws, flat screw, and close back to the side. Now I put this screw in the screw, so now open it out. So just open out. So you can see the LED top which contain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and there are some module which is hidden in there. Now open further open we can use the other screwdriver which is other one. Right now I can remove out this one and take other one which is right now I say this one, this screwdriver, and attach them to the side after I close. Now take the one and open all and push out. It's pop out the lid. It's only holding to this LED panel into this base, each seat. There's no joint to the bottom side. I can break this thing lots of sides. So what all we need to do now, I'm sure, just pull out. There are metal top inside, I think. Yes, it's come out. So there are metal top which is red and black wires going, and there are metal shielding which is line out the torting. You can see there's plastic torting because this module is not short, it is a button regulated module. So there are basically look like a button module because they are the capacitor or diode. Now open more further. For this time I already open one, so already which I open is so also pin bulb, not a threaded bulb. So pin bulb are two types of pin bulbs. One type of pin bulbs are pins which can easily come out. I already tell one is solder. So that's why in solder you can see it is not a subtle pin, it can long pin by solder. So it all is just solder wire. So if you have solder iron, you can desolder that these 2 points and remove out. But in my case, what we do, I just there you can see there is a spot weld type. So you can put this screwdriver in there and prise out. If you not repair this bulb, if you repair a bulb, then you need a body. I need internal setup circuit, not a body. So I think I can do this way. Now I can remove this lid. So this time we can this all this circuit. Carefully do that because this time there are circuit which is maybe, well, I can stretch out any component on the top of the LED driver board. So that's why I need this time extra careful. And just apply pressure, and now I can price backwards. I think this is not a mount. Just the screwdriver again, pull. If I also think there are it is freely move. I think once pause because this is taking too much time to open it. I only need to do just remove this tape thing and come back, or something else, and that's why I didn't pause them. Now you can see I open it because I pull the over force, so it can take a little bit time to open it, but there are way too much. Now open up further. We can first cut off the long wires because this is the metal shield cannot pass through the casing, so that's why I then cut the wire, this red and black wires in the off position, so I can rejoin After which removing out this unit in the outside of the cabinet. Now I set the wire. One wire shut. I shut in the middle because it is easily rejoinable. Now remove first LED top. This is a LED top, and this is a bad driver, and this is a hollow. So they are butt regulators. So they are transformer capacitor, which is output capacitor is 2.2 microfarad 400 volt, and input capacitor 450 volt 10 microfarad is nothing in there. There are chip, which is butt regulator chip, and inductor, or there are two resistors. There are one resistor for which is 200 kilo ohm, and there are in two series, which means 720 kilo ohm, 9 kilo ohm, and one is 10 not there. Now open further to see what it's inside, further inside, because right now I try to reverse engineering afterwards, but it's still stuck. So that's why if it is not easiest to remove without removing reverse engineering is, so that's why I then first remove this thing complete out and after see parts closely and after the reverse engineering is, because most of parts still hidden in the bulb in a unit. I think one small box because it just takes a little bit time more to remove out. So you can see there are fuse. This is a reverse engineering system, please. There are fuse, live those fuse, and after those full bridge rectifier, which is MBR 104, and we will go directly to MBR 104. If and output is the positive to capacitor, positive input capacitor is 450 volt 10 microfarad positive, as well as the output capacitor, which is 2.2 microfarad 400 volt, and after though discharge resistor, it is a 2 kilo ohm discharge resistor. It is at a parallel to capacitor, and capacitor negative is all directly go outside the LED negative, and they are in the third last capacitor negative to the MOSFET drain terminal, and MOSFET drain terminal also connected diode, which is E1SJ, connecting to the positive line to the inductor other MOSFET drain terminal with reverse polarities, and there are source is connected to two resistors, which is 3 ohms shunt resistor to a negative input, and to one unknown capacitor, common capacitor with ohm resistor, and other also resistor and ground, which is 9.5 kilo ohm, and these two 9.5 kilo ohm resistor to pin number 2 of IC, and pin number 3 is empty, and pin number 4 is connected to this resistor, which is 1 mag, and pin number 1 is ground, and there are pin number 4 and positive line. There are other voltage divider, which is 360 kilo ohm, 2 resistors connected 120 kilo ohm roughly. What happened there is first the AC input by fuse protected, and those rectified and smooth by the capacitor, and positive feeding by outside and negative this door to this shunt resistors to monitor how much turn this inductor is, and door to inductor, and this resistor acts like a load which can bridge the inductor output. Inductor bridge them to positive to negative, as well as limit that, as well as discharge this capacitor, so and tindling around half a vision it cannot short because it capacitor is charged sometimes, it can discharge the capacitor. And diode is protecting flywheel and beta made apart. So if inductance is generated, for example, positive supply in this side and negative supply is this side. When the negative is removed by MOSFET, there's generator reverse voltage, which is higher than the input voltage. So this is positive in there and negative is there. So negative is directly fed by this capacitor, and positive fed by with diode, pass to diode, and after go to this capacitor and charge them. But it cannot tilt this IC. If this diode is not connected, it can tilt the IC, because it can flow, instead flow in diode, it can flow this IC through the negative line to a positive line. So that's why it can damage it. So that alternative diode for protection. And these two resistors are turned on monitor and so eyes. So it connects a negative line, which is pin number 1 to pin number 5. 6 is open and 7 it can connect both. So it can also monitor 1 on 7 and pin number 5 drop loss as well as the deep with MOSFET contain pin number 1 to pin number 3 4, or pin number 2 is net input set and pin number 3 is empty, and pin number 4 is net to input. Voltage selected by pull down resistor is 1 micro and pull up resistor is 720 kilo ohm, and this is 9.5 kilo ohm percent adjustment, and which is a feeding by this output is going to LEDs. There are 22 LEDs. I draw 8 LEDs because there is not too much space, so that's why I draw 8 LEDs. There are 22 LEDs. So approximately all LEDs connecting series first. So there are one positive and there are other one negative, so the main negative and this is the main positive, all in series. So each LED is 5 volt draw. For example, that stage is draw about 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 or 35, 40, and 40 times 80, I mean 110 volts can take all LEDs. Although their capacitor is 400 volts, which means it can output somewhere 200 volts, but it can all LEDs can take 110 volt approximately. So this is our fundamental is, which is this bulb inside. This is a bulb base, and where is a bulb? This is a bulb bottom and top end. This is inside of a tuff at 25 watt or 20 watt LED. And this is the video very soon. Pause.